Does your boat's blower sound like this? Or is it old and not blowing hard? If so, it might be time to replace it. These blowers are fairly cheap, around $30 on Amazon, or you can find them on other online parts stores for about $60. These blowers provide an important job for your boat. They vent any dangerous fuel vapors from the engine bay before the engine started, and they reduce the chances of explosion and fire. You should always run them for 4 to 5 minutes before starting your engine, and this will reduce those chances. Over time, the bearings and motor can rust, wear out, or even fail, and I've even seen the fan blades be destroyed. For example, on this boat, the blades are shot, and it must have sucked up some type of debris to damage them. It needs to be replaced. Before replacing, get a photo of the blower sticker if you can, and then you'll know what to replace it with. You can also check the ducting for any tears or leaks and replace the ducting while you're at it. The blowers are usually 3 or 4 inch models and have an amp power rating. They'll also have a CFM rating. Almost all of these are 12 volts, and the amp is what's important because you want to replace it with a similar rating so as to not overstress your electrical system and blow a fuse. So look for a similar amp rating. The CFM is a measure of how much air it's going to move over a period of time, and some are more powerful than others, but it's really not that important. If it has a weaker blower, you just run it a little bit longer. Since there's fumes in a boat and less fresh air than in your car engine, you really do need to make sure that the replacement is ignition protected. Ignition protected means that the blower can't reach a hot enough temperature on the surface or generate enough sparks to ignite an air-fuel mixture, and this is very important. The blower we're working on today is a 3-inch 6-amp model by Detmar, and I'll put a link in the description below for all the popular 3 and 4-inch blower replacements, as well as all of their ratings. These blowers are generally mounted low in the bilge compartment of your boat to suck out fuel vapors before the engine start, and they're usually mounted in line of a duct with a zip tie on each side, or they can also be just a duct on one side like this boat. There's going to be a flow indicator on the housing so you know which way to mount it after you take it off, and they're usually wired in place with solder connectors and shrink wrap or other waterproof connectors. For example, in this case, it does have its own unique water connector, and what we'll do is just snip off that connector and we will solder it on to the new one. I'm going to show you how to do that here in a minute, and you don't need a solder gun. Okay, to remove this blower, we simply unclip our connector, or in your case, if you don't have one, you'll just cut the wire, and then we're going to unscrew the 2 Phillips screws that mount this blower to the wall of the boat in the fiberglass. And then we'll use wire connectors to snip the black zip tie so it comes off the vent ducting. With the blower removed, we can easily see the markings to verify the amp rating. Remember, there's links below for various blowers that will match up to your existing ones, so that should help save you some time. Once you source a new blower, line it up with the old one and verify that everything is matching. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment below and I'll help you with any of those questions. Now we can cut off and strip the old wires from the old blower so as to reattach the connector and reuse it. If you don't have a connector like this, it doesn't matter. You'll still strip the wires and have it ready to do this same soldering inside the engine bay. I really like these waterproof solder connectors because they heat up with either a heat gun or a small torch, and it will help you solder the 2 wires together, and it has a built-in waterproof shrink wrap which will seal the wires shut. You never want exposed wiring inside a boat because that could be an ignition source in the bilge area especially. And so please do not skip this step and always cover your electrical connections with shrink wrap or some type of waterproof connector. Now that you have your wiring in place, turn on your blower and verify that the blower is working and that the airflow is in the correct direction before proceeding to the next step. If everything checks out good, simply remount the blower onto the wall of your boat And be careful to not over tighten the screws, especially if it's on fiberglass, because you can strip out the fiberglass. Next, you will slide on the plastic ducking, and you'll use a large zip tie to secure that in place and snip the end. Now is the time to turn the blower back on and verify your job is complete. So go outside your boat and feel where the vent exhaust is and make sure that the air is flowing properly and it's not going the wrong direction. Okay, I hope you found the links below helpful in finding a replacement blower. But if not, feel free to leave comments below and I'll do my best to source you an equivalent that will work for you. If you found this video useful, please give us a like and a subscribe, and thank you for watching.